Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our live stream on the internet. Uh, Working on Minecraft Renewed. Got a fresh new section of the project to be working on, and I'm sure it'll be just as boring as the previous. Uh, for the foreseeable future, we're gonna be working on block lighting, block ID, block metadata, block lighting, and chunk generation. Worker threads, essentially, for the server backend and for the client. It's kind of complicated. I don't know all the details yet, but I'm starting to work on it. One of the first things I was doing is that I was ripping out the old lighting engine because I need to replace it. But essentially the way it's going to work is if it's on the client, then it calculates if it's able to place it, and then basically assumes what the outcome should be, and then the client acts accordingly. That's going to be a desync right there. So then it sends a packet of what it just requested, and then of course the client and the server will resync afterward, in case there's any mishaps. So that's the general idea for that interaction. The actual threads we're talking about are specifically for the server only, so they're going to help the server run faster, and they're also going to help the client not be so burdened down with lighting updates, for example, because we're using the 1.7.10 lighting engine rather than 1.51, so I realize I also need to turn down this right here, this music. So, alright, so what are we going to do next? Well, I'm currently working on, I know this looks like a freaking rat's nest, but it's not really. The next thing the thing I'm currently working on is handling the block ID metadata queue. So essentially the way it's going to work on the server side is that the client will send packets to the server requesting a block to be edited, for example. In this case, yeah, that is what's happening. And then the server will compute by adding it to an array, and then the workers are adding it to a synchronized array, I should say. Specifically, it's synchronized to make sure that the threads communicate properly. And then after that, it has these worker methods inside of its inside the thread, which will manage those requests. And after completing the request, it'll remove it from the work array. And of course, I mean, I don't see many flaws with that concept. The only thing that's kind of annoying is figuring out what needs to be changed on the server's end. And then also at the end, we also need to mark it for updating so that it sends a packet back to the client that, hey, we updated this thing, make sure you get it right. So that's the general gist of things. We also, of course, have we have a chunk manager for marking updates. This includes redstone updates. It doesn't have really anything in it yet. However, it only needs one set, as you can see, like, well, essentially the length of the list should be able to determine the what type it is. So yeah. Also, this is using an outdated not using iterators, which is kind of a yikes, but we'll figure that out. And then for lighting, I haven't really done anything because it's the hardest one. We're gonna get to that one last. Mostly because I want to have to interact with the 1.7.10 code the least, but anyway. Hope for you guys who have seen the video I posted today, you enjoyed the dry hands cover. Oh, it's playing right now. Speak of the devil. I'll turn it up for those who haven't. I'll be silent. was rather surprised to see that appear as soon as I mentioned it, but yep. That's cool. It's very cool. Just want to make sure everything's working. Everything's okay. Oh, it's always my nightmare that things don't work properly, and then I have to fix things and all that. But I think we're all good. So, okay. So of course we have not created these methods for. These are relighting methods we haven't really created yet, and it may not even be that these hook properly, and we'll have to reevaluate 1.7.10's block setting code to see how it handles this. However, that should be it. So, next thing to handle, as you can see right here, is the tile entity. So, do we need the, for this part? Because obviously we need it. I think we're done with the array usage. Now we can get outside of it and do this. Alright, so don't want to have to be in the synchronization for that long, because we want to keep things optimized and streamlined. And so as you can see, yeah, I don't believe it uses the extended block storage. Again, it mostly talks about tile entities, so should be all good. Alright, so we can change whenever we're getting the chunk. Should I just synchronize the whole chunk at this rate for the was modified part? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna change was successful to, or should I even have that at all? So essentially what we're gonna do now is, let's modify it, I believe. So the thing, there we go. So what we're gonna do for this was successful thing is because we have one more thing we need to do, and that is, let's just call it, I'll put a to-do for now and just, so I'm gonna do that. So what we're gonna do after this is go back into here and data of 3 not equals 0. So should honestly put them side by side so I don't have to reference them like this. This is getting kind of annoying. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is put it like that and like this. Okay, so that would be, so that's for if it's client side. That's the wrong one. Oh, nope. So in this particular instance, I'm going to put time. I'm going to create a variable. This is actually really rare for me to do. I'm going to instantiate the variable specifically inside of the loop because there are so few tile entities. It's actually more performant to instantiate. It should be roughly more performant, generally speaking, to instantiate outside of than it is inside of. Or sorry, the reverse. Inside of than it is outside of, because there are not going to be many tile entities, and so when there is, that's a special case, and thus we are here. So that would be. What would this be? What is this? Oh. Ah. Okay. So I'm gonna have to leave that blank for now. We're gonna go back up here. Go ahead and do this, and what I'm gonna do is actually what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna do do that as an effort to we'll have to create a method for this. However, it should be a relatively smooth process to do that. And so if we look over here, we also need to do it right here. Right. So does this do? This and data. So essentially, I believe that's it. Well, there's a lot of stuff I need to do just to get this through. However, so if So in terms of the, there's one thing I think I'm gonna do, which is this. Why? I think that's good. Because this one actually simplifies quite nicely as opposed to metadata, which does not. Because we'll do it this way. Blockity 0. There we go. Are there flags here? Nope. So, the next thing we need to do, I need to put world over here as well. I need to close you. Is this down here? No. So here we go, set block. So essentially we're gonna do essentially what we need to do in terms of the okay, so essentially what we're doing is we're integrating the flag, the flags with this, and Oh wait, we actually don't need to do that. How does this work? I don't actually. We don't even need to use the flag thing because that's that stays. Flags stays within the bounds of this, which means I don't believe this will. So we don't need the flags. Remove those because those stay within the bounds of. What is this project? Such a common question, but I honestly understand it. Ask it so. This is a redevelopment of Minecraft, not from the ground up, but from an existing version that is to the design specifications that I want. I've been working on it for 2 years thus far, and as of right now, we're working on this. A lot of it is being remade because the engine needs severe upgrades. In other ways, I mean, right now, for example, or this updates because I'm working on update 1.0, and then there'll be future updates in the future. So 1.0 is mostly focusing on the engine because the engine needs severe upgrades, and then the future updates will contain more features. However, there are a lot of features that already have been changed or added, so excluding those engine changes. If you want, I do have a change log, and of course, as you can see in the pinned message at the top, there is a Guilded server you can join or just browse by, if you click on the link and then click off the sign up prompt, you can view all the things in the server that are public, and there's more information there, but what you basically need to know right now is that it's gonna feel like Minecraft, but not a distinct version. You're not gonna know which one it is unless I were to literally tell you, and even then you probably wouldn't be able to tell. Probably be like, it's that version? So it takes inspiration from older versions of the game, so it's not modern, and it's also not made with a modern version, but just it's kind of weird because I kind of remember that, for example, like beta's 2011, which is 12 years ago, but even just 1.7.10 was 10 years ago. So it's not gonna necessarily be like a nostalgic version in terms of it definitely takes more inspiration from those nostalgic versions than it does the modern versions. However, it's not gonna probably feel like a nostalgic version, if that makes any sense. I guess it might. It depends on whether it depends really a lot, but the world generation is different, the structures are different, the world generators are different. The only things that I'd say may think of nostalgia in terms of the world generation is that it does use a lot of elements from the beta world generator. However, it has been revamped as of recently, so it doesn't really look the same. It just has the same vibe. Let's see. Yes, there will be multiplayer. There will be when the playtest happens in sometime in February. There will be co-op multiplayer, and then once the mod releases in probably somewhere around the summer, it'll be there will be a server as well. Okay, so Alright, so we need to... Oh wait, let's see this being here. And then let's change this to a while loop. And essentially what we're gonna do is, we're basically copying a lot of the stuff in here. Because, okay, let's go now that we have this to, set block metadata, or not, yeah, set, not get. So yeah, we can set. Okay. So this one's rather simple at least. So now what we need to do is we need to get the chunk first, which would be basically this, and just I'm being a little bit lazy here because I already wrote most of it, and all right, now we have our variables. At least we should do. Okay, now we have the chunk, which means now we have all the information we need. So. So now what I need to do is if let's see, let's do the extended block storage something. Metadata, and then we're going to we need the block ID as well, looks like. Okay, let me grab the block ID. So we only need the current one, so we're fine. So it just creates that, and then we also don't need the map height, it's just that, and then yeah, I think it's just this, and we don't need this boolean, so if c dot, oh wait, so let's synchronize c dot storage arrays. If c dot storage array, and then we'll put in cy equals null. We're gonna we need to set up a send the packet saying it doesn't happen, but no. Oh, what is this? Okay, so. Put it before, not after. Alright, and then How'd you handle that? I have to do another check, don't we? Okay. Yeah, because I don't have to grab it twice. That'd be inefficient. So, if, sorry, let's grab, need the lock ID, we need the meta. Long ass name, alright. And then we need to do data 0 and 15. Data 1 and 15. Data 2 and 15. Misspellings and just the keyboard's in a weird spot. Let me stand up for a second. Alright, so we actually do it inside the loop as soon as possible, don't we? Which doesn't, yeah, it probably matters, because after, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to do it after. Sync or C. Actually, does it? So I need to do a volatile ability. Certainly. Let's change it. Alright. And then some signals, but what can you do? So I don't think it needs to be synchronized because I wasn't doing it because knowing how every time I'm referencing a chunk, gonna synchronize that shit. No way. It's like balloons like these. I mean, it's whatever. If it misses, it misses, you know. Because, like, if you look here, needs saving. The only times it does it if it is in the chunk provider server, which we can, well, yeah, I mean, if it does that mid save, then the one thing I will say is that it probably won't, because if you look here, right? That's not there. I'll put it over here instead. Say save chunk variable 5. Yeah, and then after it's done, you know, it's only going to be doing that after it has already saved the information fully, and that requires synchronizing with the array, because, well, once we get that set up, the storage array has to be synchronized at all times, and, or at all uses, I should say, and then, which I've not fully done yet for reference, but anyway, it should be fine after that, because it's, the boolean is basically locked by other. So, alright, so wait, what? Grab the walk ID, and then if it's not what I wanted at all. Thanks for the open declaration bullshit. Eclipse. That was like, whatever. First knew when that it's not binary. And then I will. Okay, so. Leave the synchronization block, and now we're going to. So we're gonna have to create as a new function with this, and then do this bullshit, except for remove. And then we say metadata, which is data 3. Alright. And that would be almost it if we didn't have to also make a new we also have to create some other stuff. We have a lot of stuff to create, but getting these things done first is going to be really helpful. We have a lot of to-dos, and yep. we now have to do use the neighbor manager. Actually, I don't think we actually need a neighbor manager for this because it didn't seem to actually update neighbors that way. Did we actually update neighbors? No, it wasn't set block, which means the world can do that, which is great because man. Now I get to work on the neighbor manager, I think. What is this? All right. All right, so check back on. I actually don't know if there's anyone here, which is I mean it's a Monday night. It's MLK Day, but I mean it's probably like people want to relax on their day. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm doing it different. Just sometimes you work on that as well as the thing. I wonder what the like rates are for YouTube today. I imagine they're pretty bad. Like uploading video today would be a horrible idea, which I did. So good job, me. But probably because people are spending time with family because they have a day off for once. Oh, okay. I kind of feel like you're always here. It's just the thing is YouTube only counts concurrent viewers as people who have the thing like have the tab open and have their cursor over it basically. So it's kind of bogus. But I appreciate you being a regular. Keeps things a little bit less boring, so let's see. Next thing we have to do is the mark updates. So let's see. So set block, mark block for update. What's this? That's not what I want. Block change. Or wrote that. Did not do a very good idea. I not did a very good job. Where's World Manager? I think I've ever been in here. Have I been in here? Yeah, that happens. So... let's see. This is only for non-remote stuff. Okay. Otherwise, it'll update via server differently. Okay, so I don't even think that this mark for... I don't even know if this mark updates thing is even necessary, because essentially it's just a Boolean signal that's just being transmitted, so... let's go ahead and... I think... Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll have to go delete the class. No big deal. John Manager. Makes things simpler on me anyway. Now, the lighting engine we're not going to be editing right now. And yeah, I think the next step would be to... Assuming you saw it, which I don't know if you did you enjoy the guitar solo music video? I think I might... It's kind of weird. I think I might like re-record it maybe before I put it into the well, I don't think there's any audio swamps on YouTube, so it's probably like whatever, but it's possible I might re-record it before I put it into the game proper, but I had a lot of fun making that. It's been like several months of practicing on the guitar just to play that song. God dang. And then I have Sweden to work on. Yeah, it's my most recent video post. I can play right now on the stream if you want, because I have it on the playlist. Do you want to hear it on the playlist? Let me go find it. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'll boost it as well. Alright, I think it was a little quiet, like 80 something. Go check. Okay, it's good. I'll turn it down this a little bit because I don't want to blast my ears. Yeah, I'll do 80. That's a good noise. That's the solo. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna get the audio quality better, but I can always like practice more to get the timing better. That's hard. It is what it is. Down for challenges. I don't know, it's like, on one hand I want to like it because I don't want to have to make it again, Yeah, I've been practicing since July of last year is whenever I started. Because taking guitar class this year. So I didn't start playing that until probably around October though, so I haven't really had that much practice compared to a lot of people, but I was like, I'm good enough to record it and actually, you know, do the whole song the way through, so do it in like 20 tries. So probably do it more though if I want to make it any better. I don't know, it's just like I can imagine this as a musician. I feel like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because you never get the timing perfect if you're playing it by hand. So just gotta wing it, hope people don't care or notice. The timing is definitely not the same as the actual song, because I don't play the song while I'm playing it, because otherwise I'll like mess up. So it's all from memory. So the real question is, how do I want to handle client side? So discussed this earlier, but I don't remember all I want to say, or if it still makes sense for what I've read in the code. So look at this here. This function applies for whether the chunk is client side and server side, and we should therefore expect that behavior to be as that. So it's the only, really it's only used there. Okay. My real thing is like, should the client update the block and then the server responds afterward by sending a packet back? I think both need to modify it on their own sets, and then the server overwrites the client afterward, because without that you'll have really bad server lag, because there are basically no lag compensation for even your actions. So that means that the client will need a different method for compared to the server. I mean, the server basically already has its methods. That's that. But I will say, I don't think that lighting should be updated client side. I don't think that should be the case. I don't know if you agree with me on that one, but I feel like the simpler way of handling this is that the client and the server have their own chunk managers. Do you think that's gonna be a better solution than just the server having it? Yeah. It's both a server and a client thing. I mean, that's just a whole like lighting engine issue that I haven't really come up with yet. Do you think that the client and the server should have their own chunk managers as separate threads? Or do you think it should only be on the server? Because I mean, it would definitely simplify a lot of stuff if we can ignore well, if it's essentially that sort of, yeah. Because if the way I have it designed right now is for it to only work with a server. So I'm not sure if I have an answer to the question, to be completely honest. You think maybe have the client also have its own managers? I mean, if we're gonna have to calculate lighting on both situations, I think it will definitely need to be that way. Simply because otherwise, if the client's doing lighting on the main thread, then that's a really bad idea. Because then you get massive lag spikes. Yeah. The server's saying a bunch of different things. I mean, that is true. I mean, the way it would probably work is that the lighting manager per loop would, if it, of course, has things to update, would update those positions. Then, of course, if there's any changes, then would add it to a right now I'm trying to I mean, I'm not working on dedicated server stuff right now, no. I'm working on helper threads for the existing infrastructure. Just wondering how I should write it to integrate it properly into that. So I personally think it's better for the server to send the lighting updates back to the client in batches than it is for the client to update its own lighting. Because unlike block IDs, lighting is inconsequential in terms of, like, whenever you place a block, right? Of course, the block gets used from your inventory, and as such would have gameplay impact. However, the lighting does not edit the inventory. It's just reading what's there and acting accordingly, reading the world's state. So it's not really like that. The only thing that would be kind of weird is if you like place, for example, like glowstone, which is a thing in my brain, which is imagining, and it's just like dark for a little bit and then it just like illuminates. But whatever. That doesn't really solve my problem with the block IDs, though. So... With the block IDs, or like with block setting, I think that it should probably also be handled server side. The client should predict what the outcome should be for the player's inventory. However, the actual setting should be done, I think, server side. The only thing that's kind of annoying is, so if you're thinking about these tile entities, right? Basically, everything involving the setting of this block will have to be moved. It's basically moved there. And how do we manage the chunks that need to be sent as packets? Is the question. I'm so confused why there's this dude in the modification station of Discord who every time you post any message, all he gets is skull emojis. I'm like, is the guy really that awful? Like, what is this? What is this off topic? Okay, I'm bored, so. Okay, I need a little distraction for a second. Let's get back to this though. Ah. This, this code is such like a conceptual, I wouldn't say mishap, but like annoyance that I don't think I'll be able to go a full 3 hours, so basically what I'm thinking. What happened to the original server code? What do you mean, like the whole, like, thinking about the project? Because right here, it's just closed, and I don't open it because I don't want to. Don't think I will ever open it. Didn't know that was a good fix. Huh. Let's go do that, because I want to be distracted for a moment. Apparently in here. Well, let me go to block fluid. Nope. I think, yeah, 1.7 I think is when they changed the whole setup. So. Why can't we just go back to creating cool blocks? You know, like. Well, because, I mean, you can't really enjoy those cool blocks if the server doesn't even work and the client is lagging like crazy. So, there's that. So, my real question is, what happens if all the client does is send a packet to the server that it wants to update something? Like a block, for example. If the client says, yo, delete this block, but the client doesn't actually do anything to the block, does it then wait for the server to respond? You know? Like, when the server responds to that block change, what if it uses the same method and it just like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like, hey, we're using the client method and we're gonna set it, and I'm like, oh, okay. That sounds like a great idea. Yikes. Let me see. So, is there any indication of this in here? So I find it so sad that every time I do something cool in my mod, it feels like there's just another mountain of work I have to do next that just like completely sours the deal. It is what it is, you know? It's like, woohoo, you just did this rendering thing. Oh, by the way, your lighting engine is broken. Go fix it. Man. Ugh. So what I'm gonna do is I don't think that I need to create a packet thing like this. I don't think that's necessary. The inventory will automatically sync if it was set wrong. However, so the way that I'm gonna handle it is, the client-side function will, for the most part, just mimic the server function in the way that it's gonna send out the packet to set the block. Which I actually need to set up the packet for it, but oh well. So essentially what this is going to turn into is this is going to turn into basically a shell of its former self, and I'm going to create a like this. And instead of doing this, I'm gonna do. No, I definitely do not want to do that. And we will then do that, and then we'll return false. And then basically what I'm gonna do is do all of the block, like break block updates and stuff like that. Is. Also, this certainly does not need to be within the chunk thing, but oh well. Really? Not exclusive? Bruh. Welcome back, the abstract chicken. Oh, it's already synchronized. It's a fat yikes. A lot to work on. Coming up now. We, of course, last time, what did we do last time? We, finished render runs. I don't remember what I was doing precisely when we ended. Today and last night, I was working on a new, way to load the resources, as in the sounds. Rather than downloading them, they now, come with the jar file, inside the jar file, and then they're loaded from the inside of it. Yeah, with water physics? I don't think it was water physics. Was it water physics? Are you talking about the one where I was, like, placing water with, like, glass and looking at the water? Because that was water rendering. Yeah, it was water rendering. I've not messed with the physics of water, really. But, yeah. We finished render runs. So that was exciting. I fixed it by, of course, fixing the whole texture atlas. So you can't really see it, obviously, because you can probably see the amount of errors on my screen. That we're in the middle of stuff. But when I was testing the performance, it was interesting. It was more stable in terms of the lag spikes were not as bad. The absolute frame rate was interesting because it was actually worse. It was like 5% lower, which whatever. That can probably be fixed by some changings of the way that runs are calculated, but not for right now. Yeah, and then of course today and yesterday I was doing some resource management stuff. Right now we're doing the new lighting engine, and with that, of course, I had to give myself a task I didn't want, which is to create these things called chunk managers. And I haven't actually shown this in the stream because it's not really that interesting. That's what I was working on early today before I started this. So essentially, I created two abstract classes, the chunk manager class and the thread manager class. Chunk manager is basically just, it extends the thread manager. And essentially what this is to standardize the information that all of the different chunk managers have. And then of course the thread manager, I actually think this is pretty dope. It is, I guess, think of it kind of like a wrapper object for a thread. And essentially what it does is you tell it how long it needs to pause for, tell it if it's a daemon thread, and then of course you have your close function, and this is just like tell it to stop. It'll interrupt it, which it'll give it one extra tick to keep going. Well, not actually one extra tick, really. It'll give it till the end of the current tick to keep running before it'll stop when you interrupt it like this. And then this is also coming in a second. And then on run, we essentially, while it's not interrupted, we're gonna run this loop function. That's essentially what you actually use. Essentially, think of it like the tick function for a server. It's similar, and then it'll sleep, and then if it's interrupted while it's sleeping, then it will, or you can see it. It'll say it was sleeping, and then it'll break. Essentially, what that means is it'll leave the while loop. And if it was interrupted, like, I guess I don't really know precisely when it would be, because the only time you really have to is, because Because it would try to sleep, then it wouldn't be able to. But if it is interrupted as well, then I can also, this is actually something I should probably do. There we go. That'll fix what I was thinking. And then essentially it'll then check what the interrupt is, and these two abstract functions, essentially what the threads respond with is if they're interrupted, of course they have the boolean if it's closing, which is if you call this function basically, and then if it was sleeping before it got interrupted, which you can of course use to determine whatever you want. And I think this probably does as much as you probably want for like these sorts of threads that are supposed to stay in the background and kind of just like run repeatedly. I'd say this works. So, anyway. So, the next step is to do, yeah, I mean, that's thread management for you, and it's even more complicated, trust me. With synchronization and making sure things are in place. I mean, it's definitely more complicated in other languages because you have to do all these things yourself. But I mean, there are libraries to help you, of course, but here a lot of it's built in. Okay, so it's gonna break a block here. It's going to. I mean, my day's been pretty okay. I mean, I don't know. Let me see. This. I guess I've been taking care of some people because it is MLK Day, but so I'm home with my siblings, so it's just, you know. And then, I mean, I haven't really been doing much other stuff. A lot of programming, really. If you maybe saw, I posted a video today. It was a music video. I don't know if I should play it again because Jacobia already heard it. But, did you see that? I made it last night and then I uploaded it to the schedules this morning. So. Did you like it? Say yes or else. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, when you're doing like live renditions, especially if you're not like really, really good, to the point where you can not only remember all the notes at all times, also just be really good at the rhythm, it's yeah, you're not gonna be able to. Generally speaking, the song is just a little bit slower by like a few seconds than the original. My friend did like an A/B analysis, and it basically just stays like a second or two behind the whole time. It's kind of, yeah. I like it. I might redo it in the future before I actually add it properly to the game, but we'll see. I do plan on doing that for other songs, so if I do that for oh, thanks. It's I'm just using a Yeti, the same microphone. It's the only thing that I really did was apply a noise reduction filter on it, and then do a bass and treble boost to adjust the stuff. And then I did fix the last note, which was interesting. The very last note had an issue with it. I agree. The last note had this weird like artifact on it, so yeah, I've heard the snowball has even picked up from my friend who has one, the ambulance that he didn't even realize was anywhere remotely near him, like somewhere outside in his town, like that good. It was, yeah. The Yetis are designed for things like recording with your guitar, so it's not surprising that it turned out so well, but there's also like the difference between the instrument with steel strings versus nylon. One of the more annoying things about the steel strings is that it's a lot easier to get your finger caught on the string, which makes it a little bit harder to like switch quickly between frets when you've been playing a lot, because you just have like the indent in your finger. But, yeah. Oh, what a lovely distraction. I think that's kind of it though for the yeah. So unblock added. I really can't wait for the test day, because that'll be really cool. Also, I definitely made a mistake. Hold on, let me make sure. Just in case I want to revert. I mean, I know what... It's basically this entire weekend, it's one patch, so let me see when my... Yeah, 161 was 3 days ago. So, yeah, reverting is not an option. But, I mean, I have to replace the lighting engine anyway, so what gives, you know? But certainly I'll just have to work through all the issues, because this infrastructure is vital to the smoothness of the server and the client, so what are you gonna do? Alright, so what I need to do now is remove all this, and I need to I think if I can simplify any of this. So I'm wondering, because we have the break block function here, whether that I don't think that will trigger something to go to the server. Shouldn't do that. I'll check. Make sure that's not actually pulling the server, that's just all client side. Basically what it will look like on the client side is just a little bit of rubber banding when the player removes a block. Unless the ping is good. But hopefully that won't be a problem for most people. The only thing that will kind of suck, I guess, is that you can't, well, you couldn't even, well, the only thing that will probably suck, I guess, is I'm gonna go ahead and add this back for a second. So I do think that we should probably, at least so the client is not just absolutely rubber banding like crazy, and it's just like, this is unplayable, because we're thinking about netcode here. If we're on the client is then going to set the block. Otherwise, the client is going to directly set the block on its, yeah, and then no tile entity is going to change. However, I think it's gonna be kind of weird though, because like if you place it, if the tile entities don't change, then you're gonna replace a tile entity. Or so let's say you remove it, like a chest. You have stuff in the chest, and then you place another chest down on top of it. Then okay, it opens the same chest, fine. But what happens if you remove a chest and place like a dropper, and then you open the dropper? Then it'll show the chest because it hasn't updated yet. So. Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna say that we're gonna set the block ID and set the metadata, but only if it's in the client. So that means also we need to copy the whole part of this. Actually, yeah, tile entity is only removed if it's a server. Okay, that's good. Actually, that helps a lot. Okay, so. So I'm going to do if that, just in case. This thing, I'm not gonna feign like I know everything, so I'm just gonna copy all of this data right here and there. That's not equals. Not equals. Data be 3. It'll be continue. So hey, somehow that actually matters. Set the metadata in here, so set block metadata. So I believe that should be it. Penalty will then have to be updated on the. We're gonna have to put this under synchronization, so I'm just gonna literally cut and paste this. So, upon breaking the block, it may You think I'm going insane and listen to play Minecraft music, huh? What if I told you I've been listening to the same playlist for 5 years? even longer if you think how long I've been playing the game, but specifically this playlist is 5 years. I mean, honestly, there isn't much sanity when you think about just how much I have to do, but let's see, and then I need to do a to-do. It is a banger. I agree. I would love to see. I would love to do it's a deal. It's a deal. I remember talking about this. Is that I want to eventually, if I have enough clout, ask to buy the next Minecraft album that he couldn't actually use, because I know he owns the copyright too. He just can't really. Unless that's under like NDA or something, which would be kind of bogus. But yeah, he made another Minecraft album, but Microsoft presumably does not like the fact that he wants to keep his copyright his own, as the previous deal was the C418 got to keep the copyright to the song, and all the all those rights, but Minecraft got like got a lent. Yeah, he made it, and then Microsoft was like, nah, we want to actually own the songs, and he was like, no, thank you. So that's why you'll see the current composers, they have basically mimicking C418, but all the songs are owned by Microsoft, which is garbage. So yeah, I don't know if he's under NDA though. Is the thing. He could be. He could have been like, or they could have been like, make this, but you're under NDA, which would suck. But that's why they fired him, at least from my understanding. Hello. Is this for concurrent viewers? I guess, yeah, it is, huh? Dang. Welcome to the most boring stream. Because, well, I guess there's a lot of things happening, but it's kind of boring. Why does it have to be on one of these streams? Couldn't have been when I was doing rendering. Man. We're growing. Yeah. Happy to have everyone here, though. So, I appreciate it. So, let me think. Things I don't really understand is why, Let me go ahead and move this over, I realize, because I'm not really using it right now. So why is everyone hating on Eclipse? I mean, I'm not gonna bother changing my IDE. Not worth it. How is it so awful? I don't understand. What's so bad about it? Oh man. Okay, so the I have no intentions on switching, at least as of right now. Let's see. Set block metadata. So is it possible for you to synchronize a specific? Yeah, I guess it would be. You could, I realize I could actually do that. That'd be much better. Let's see. Synchronize. We're only using it in context of the CY anyway. Yeah, so we can do. We don't need to synchronize the whole thing. Just that one. I do not know what that is, so I cannot answer. It's obsessive over the features. Like what is this? Set block. There it is. Okay, so we get a no pointer exception if we do that. All I know is if you hold down control in Eclipse, it's really obnoxious, which I still not figured out how to disable, so. In here. Oh, but that's still no, it's still there. There's like no documentation on this anywhere. Hold on, what? What's your favorite Minecraft dev phase? I'm not really sure. The one that I've definitely had the most fun in is like 1.7 to 1.8. But I also like beta 1.7.3 a lot, so that's a decent enough answer. So the hover it's talking about is different from the one I'm trying to refer to, which is this one. Windows preferences. Windows. Oh. Hold on. Keys. There's no documentation at all on this. Renewed does not have a hunger bar. There is no hunger system. It's just the health system. It will be expanded on in the future, but yeah. I think the hunger is interesting in the challenge it adds, but I don't think it's... I don't think overall it's that productive. I think it's more of a nuisance. I'd say it more adds maintenance than it does add challenge. So... it also makes it to where players are... it makes it also players demand faster transport methods when instead they should just travel for longer and experience more of the, you know, the land because they have to they don't have to stop as much. But it's just is not going to mark itself as is modified because the server is going to do that. Also, I realized that this needs to be like this, else, and then like this. So, yep, there we go. to leave it like that. So I don't want to set things. So I can't. All right, and then I do not like this typecasting every single time. But what am I going to do about that? So that would be. Where is this used? It isn't used anywhere. Why the fuck did I even Bro. Why did I even bother writing for this? It's never used. Kidding. Oh wait. Maybe that's because hold on. Let me make sure. Window or show view. Problems. Thank you. Just make sure. Set block metadata. Okay, this is used. Okay, I'm not going insane. Okay. do 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 dee dee don do don do do dee do 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 don do dee dee don don. So I'm not even sure that I want to keep this because I'll keep the get, but I won't keep the setter. So no. Excuse me? Mhm. All right, so I believe that's that for this block management stuff. The next thing I would have to do is, well, there's two things I have to do. The first thing is I need to fix tile entities, and then after that I need to work on the lighting engine. But I guess before we do that, go to world server. No, we just yoink all of the functions related to Skylight. Everything related to lighting. Yikes. So where's this even used? Hmm. Well, we're gonna go ahead and just delete all lighting related things. Well, almost all of them. The only thing we're keeping is the grabbing of the light values. So seriously? For fuck's sake. Can't even there we go. Eh. What is this, by the way? Is this even used? What is this? Cool. What is that called again? Light opacity, that's what it is. Solution is to ignore it. Okay, quick fix. Quick fix, ignore it. Okay. Alright, well, at least for the moment. That is all I will be doing for today, because we'll leave a lot to go through. Alright, well. So, as you probably imagine, it ain't gonna run right now. Yeah, yikes. Alright, so... It's actually turning out to be a little bit easier than I thought it would be. Assuming I get all the synchronization right. Now, considering this is not rendering, I don't have to like worry like crazy the absolute maximum performance, however it is preferred. Yeah. So the good news, at the very least, is that the clients will still maintain the property where they can modify blocks on their end, and it won't require the server to respond immediately in order for them to change. Lighting won't update, so like if you place a torch, you have to wait for the server to respond to that. But I mean, whatever. Lighting updates are expensive anyway. I wonder if it literally sends the whole chunk. Because hold on. I know this is like a rough idea, it's not precise, but oof. 56 times 56 is yeah, I don't know how it sends yeah, chunk data, but I doubt it does. But I don't think it'll be that expensive. However, you know, it is what it is. So, assuming it does, each block position would contain I believe is it 12? I don't. Because I know the block IDs can go to 4096. I believe it's 2 to the 12th. Yeah. I don't know why they added that functionality, because there literally can't be, but well, they did it, so whatever. Let's say, and then that would be times 12 bits. Times, there is a fill chunk thing though. And that'd be, yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm just thinking like for lighting updates and stuff, which obviously are going to be like server side as well, assuming that it actually does have light update packets, which I don't know why it wouldn't. And then the metadata can of course be 4 maximum times. So this is not a very good representation. So divided by 8 bytes. So each chunk, if every single if every single one of the blocks in the chunk was filled, um, and you place them in order, of course, in some sort of order where you can just like paste the data, there would be a maximum amount of data you can put in there, which is 6 megabytes. Like precisely 6, which I'm surprised about. It might go a little bit over in the JVM though, because of you know, objects and all that, storing the data in a particular order. But interesting. Each chunk kind of max has 6 megabytes of data. Jesus, crazy. Kind of crazy that you can't use like any sort of compression techniques on like chunks because it's just raw numbers. Like, imagine if you could use like, some sort of Hamming code on it. I mean, I guess you could. I don't know how effective it would be, though. So... as of right now, that is true. Decompress chunks if they're fast enough. It just doesn't sound feasible, so yeah, it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload the thing to the repository quickly, and then let me think. Alright, so anything else this weekend on that? Kind of crazy just how much stuff I did today. That's a day, just this weekend. Crazy. Okay. Huh. That's a problem. GitHub won't let me upload the jar file because it's too large. How can we handle this? How about instead we move the resources folder outside of the thing. I don't think the repo size... well, it seems like the file itself is too large, though. I'm nowhere near the limit of the resources, though. Let's see if that works. So, I'm leaving the resources in the folder to be uploaded and downloaded because I'd have to download and upload them anyway and it won't change any of it whenever I merge on my laptop, for example. I just moved outside the jar so that it wouldn't have that error, and then I can put it back in the jar whenever I want to launch the game, and then take it back out before it'll just be what it is, you know. I do have a backup on my Dropbox, but Whatever. Now, it would be kind of cool if it was easy enough to, because there are repeat sound files inside of the resources because the yeah, well, here's the thing. If I download the whole repository, it would have to download those resources every single time. But like if I'm just pulling the repository, because the files are not different, gonna be different once I do it the first time, it'll be fine. It will increase the download size of the initial repo, which kind of sucks. But I also did a decent bit of cleaning house to prevent it from occurring in other sections. Hold on, let me go back into jars. There should not be a resources folder. Is there? Does it even? Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's in the git ignore. Let me see. Yeah, jars / resources is in the git ignore. It's kind of cool not to have a resources folder, to be honest. It's gonna take a bit to push to Origin though, because apparently I'm doing this while streaming, which is not a good idea. Well, alright, so in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I actually did do today, by opening MC Renewed on my multi-MC instance. I did not want 1.7.10 up. See you. Oh, it actually does show up. Does it have the audio? Doesn't show up in there. Okay. I'll change it to the Minecraft scene and see if it. Oh, I wouldn't have any of my sources. Shoot. Oh well. Well, I guess it matters because I am showing audio. Does it actually work? I don't see it in here. Oh, I have to transition, don't I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the oh, there it happens again. So if I look in the log, which you guys can't see, it says, oh, this is a debug version, and it's removed the actual one, but it prints the location of the jar, and then it says resources loaded, which has, of course, the sounds in it, and if I were to pull up the... Something weird happened, which I highly doubt, because I don't think so. Not here. Instances... Minecraft. The resources folder should basically be empty. Well, if I delete it, it should be. And then I load up. Okay, let's try again. Did it create a resources folder? Why the fuck is it? It's downloading because it was F me. It doesn't need it. I guess you'll just get a resources folder which has all of the wrong resources. Why? It had literally multi-MC is just dumping in the resources from Mojang whenever they don't even need to be there. I'm so glad it won't be doing that whenever man, I really don't understand why it's like you must have these resources. I mean, my mod doesn't use them, so. Anyway, and then of course, we have. Oh yeah, we're in the Nether. Why am I? Where am I? Oh my! Why am I in the ground? What is this? What happened? I don't know what happened. Alright then. Alright, well it's gonna be super laggy because we found the Nether. And when you find the Nether, yeah, there's issues with that. Anyway. So you can see how the is it even showing? It is showing. But yeah, now we have the render runs here as well. And then what else did I do? I don't think I did much else. No, I don't think there's any other like item related things I could look at. But yeah, this is what the terrain I guess would look like. Actually, this is old beta terrain, I think. Yes, this looks like old beta terrain. Although this area is kind of cool. It's like weird flat region. I mean, the mod's playable. It's just not very optimal. Also, it's kind of cool to see how the ocean like goes deep, and then it like pokes back up. And you see like islands. I've never seen something like this in beta actually, like an actual island chain. Huh? That's dope. That's like random. Oh, and there's the edge of the world because new chunk generator moment. So that's great. They're still going kind of crazy, but I don't know. It has to do a lot with the Nether. I'm pretty sure, because there's something weird going on with the Nether. I'm pretty sure that's causing it, because as you can see, like the chunk updates just won't go away. Also, why is that empty? But as you can see, it's like 60 fucking chunk updates, and I'm like, why? In case you're wondering, the only thing that's changed with the generation, because it seems like it actually runs a little bit better on the older generation. The only difference between the new generation and the old generation is that I changed out the random class. That's literally it. So if there's something going on with the random class that's messing up, I don't know what that is, but you don't see all the broken lighting, of course. New region, but yeah, it's just like this mod has always had relatively deteriorated performance, and I've not really ever understood why. And the only explanation I can really give for it is that I suck at understanding how the performance actually should be working, but I don't know. So it's kind of a cool little biome, I think. I guess you also have to keep in mind that, like, I am kind of stretching the engine to its limits by choosing the maximum render to 512 as opposed to 256. But I mean, that is a major component here. but the game looks so incomplete without 512 render distance, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it really just feels so small. You don't have it like this. So, I don't know. Anyway, this version is playable. Vaguely. I wonder if the performance is any better in a world that does not have another like this one. What is this? I haven't seen this one before. How do I keep on finding bugs and like Huh. Why is it doing that? I wonder what the texture it's grabbing even is. Because this doesn't make any sense. Like, wait, is this texture just not in the texture atlas? That probably is what it is, right? Yeah, it's not even transparent, it's just solid black. I've never seen this before. Let me open the texture atlas and like take a look. It certainly exists in the texture, like it's right here. What, is there even a black texture in here? There's no like solid black texture. What is this? Like, it's just... What? So, like... I guess I'll craft other... I guess I'll place other types of slabs. Huh. So... Hold on. Oh, I know what it is. So... Oh, man. What's happening is the render runs method thinks that the block is... No, I know what it is. The render runs method thinks that the block is a, thinks that it's smaller than a, it thinks that it's not a full cube, and so it's assuming that it has partial bounds when it doesn't. And so it's grabbing the light value of the block itself, which is 0. So the block face is of light level 0. On this particular face, that is. Because it's that feature is only used for those bound. Okay, I'm gonna add that to my feature thing to fix. So, actually, I want to see. So if I place if I place it up here, it looks just weird. If I were to place it on the ground, it would just turn black. That's quite the thing. Oh well. Well. Oh, I'm ready then? Okay. Chest, minecart, and that. You would have seen this area from my Axiom video, by the way. Why are all the chests not rendering? Like, until like, what is this? The mob's not gonna render either? Oh, never mind, they exist. Okay. They very much so exist. Huh. I believe mobs should be a lot more common now. Yeah, okay, they are. They used to not be very common, and I cranked up the number probably too much. I wouldn't be surprised if I like. Yeah, there's 96 entities. Crazy. Okay. Yeah. I do want to modulate the number of entities a lot because I do want nighttime to not be as dangerous, but it's kind of weird trying to get it right. So. Because personally, I would prefer if, mobs only spawn really in caves, basically where there is no skylight. What are you gonna do? Well, I can change that later, just not right now. I'll add it to my docket though for the mob releases. Sound on sound, huh? Okay, why the fuck aren't the chests rendering? Like, click on them. I think that has to do with the, I think that actually has to do with the fact that I removed that array from the world renderer class. So okay, I'll add that to my docket. Actually, let me check. It's not a render runs issue. Okay, well I'm not gonna get any information from those. Okay, another chest over here. No, it's not a render runs issue. It's just a world renderer issue. Yeah. Is that what the downfall of that, Huh. Okay. Essentially what that means is, so the entities are stored in an array in world, so let's say like the world client, and the way it works, at least right now, my code also need to turn Let me actually just turn off VLC because I don't. That's fine. The way it works in render global is it grabs the array from world and it loops through it, but it appears that that array is does not just consist of all of them in the world, only the ones that have been, I guess, looks like with chests, like interacted with. So whenever I clicked on the chest, it suddenly appeared because the world had loaded it from the world data. It's really weird. So this, I guess, the solution would be to basically go back to how it was before, where the world renderer would add to the array, the tile entity array of render global. So while it's polling. So I already know how to fix it. I just have to add it and then fix it. It's a really simple change. I mean, it might decrease performance. I'm not sure, but it'll fix it. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed as well. Have a good day or night. Also, I didn't realize the images are still open. Shit. Anyway, for anyone still watching, have a good night. I will catch you later. See ya.